All right, we got the same process for this one. Pull out the flat blade, and I'm gonna cut them all before I put them in. A lot of ants on this one. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna probably put a couple more in this one. Really wanna get it in there nice. That first cut. Wedge up under that skin. Oh. You want to be careful too when you're doing this. Alright. I'm going to redo that. I'm going to go for this side. I didn't go deep enough, that's why it kind of ripped off like that. You can really kind of feel it when it gets under there. There it is. Yeah, you can kind of really feel it when it gets under there. So I got this side nice. So I'm going to come around here. There it goes. There it is. There it goes. And one more. There it is. So there we go. Got 4 cut into here. I'm gonna grab my scions and I'm gonna cut them now. So I'm gonna come up here, I'm gonna cut this top off, get a nice clean cut. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3 buds, and I'm gonna cut right above this other bud. That's 1. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3 buds. I'm gonna come up right above this other bud. That's 2. On this one, I'm going to start here. I'm going to come 1, 2, 3 buds, come right above this other bud. There's 3. And then I'm going to use one more cutting. I'll use this cutting here. Get a little bit of green coming in on this one. You can see that, which is nice. So I'll definitely want that one in there. Actually, all these ones look nice. So I'm gonna chop it right above this bud. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do 4 on this one. I'm gonna come right under here. Okay, so now I got all 4 cuttings. Now we take the flat blade. Make sure it's pointing up. Make sure these buds are pointing up, because if you try to graft it where the buds are pointing down, it's not going to grow. So buds pointing up, take it down to a really thin wedge. Just going to wedge all of these real quick first. Buds are pointing up, which means I wedge this end. Nice and wedged. Same thing, buds up. This is the end I wedge. And the last one. Okay, so I got all my 4 wedges. Now I have to be very gentle when I'm pushing them in because last time I split the bark on one of them. So we're just gonna find this gap, push this one in. Find this gap. Okay, there we go. Now it's time to wrap. Starting with the parafilm. I'm gonna use this garden tape and go real tight around everything. The grafting tape doesn't go that tight, but you can stretch this real tight and it won't break until you really kind of go for it. So I want to really give these the strongest, tightest connection possible. Okay, there we go. Now it's time for tree wound paint. And hit the tops of all the scions. Okay. Grafting fruiting mulberry onto non-fruiting mulberry rootstock. Yeah. So I might try something else too, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it right now. I might actually just be doing it later for you guys. But we have a mulberry bush, and I'm gonna try to use a cutting off the mulberry bush and graft it onto the bottom, where we cut off a big trunk on the bottom here, and see if it'll bush out on the bottom and then tree out on the top. Not sure if it's possible, but maybe it is. So we're gonna see. But right now I'm gonna clean up everything I have going on. And the only last thing that you can do on cuttings, like on grafts like this, is you could put a bag around it. A lot of people like to put a paper bag around it and cut some slots, holes in the top for some airflow, but just to keep the cuttings nice and you know, moist inside there, kind of like get their own moisture so they don't dry out as fast. So we can do that, but I think this is gonna work right here. It's actually pretty shaded. It gets some sun for a few hours during the day, but I think where it's at right now, it's gonna protect these little guys pretty well. The paper bags are just gonna allow a little bit of air to get in through the top because we just crunched it together on the top, but what it's gonna allow it to do is like be protected from the sun when they're really, really young. So we're gonna leave the paper bags on for, we could check in the tops. We're probably gonna leave them on for a couple weeks just to let them just try to start budding out underneath there, because they don't really need to get any sun right now in order to bud out. It just needs the energy from the roots. So, all right guys, well, that's the video for today. Thanks for watching. And if you guys have any questions or comments, throw them down below, and subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell button so you can see when I post new videos. Thanks again for watching, and I really appreciate my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. If you do want to support me, go to patreon.com/developawesomeskills, and let's plant some trees together. So, all right guys, well, I love you guys, and develop awesome skills.